What's up, guys? This is Chris Sauber from Warrior Soul Fitness. I got a question from one of my longtime followers today. He was asking me what I thought about a couple of Instagram guys with a lot of followers, and he wanted to know whether I thought they were using steroids. And the reason why he wanted to know this was because he's confused. He doesn't know where he could bring his body without drugs. So he's trying to alleviate that confusion. He's trying to figure out what he can expect. I empathize with this guy because, you know, when I was coming up, I really had no idea what to expect. And a lot of us don't have the education to understand what is realistic as far as the body you contain without steroids and what isn't. But at the same time, I can't be too empathetic here because the reality is your focus is all screwed up, right? When you have a goal, when you have an interest, when you are trying to achieve something in your life, you need to focus on one thing, right? And that focus in this particular case needs to be on you. You need to worry about what you do, what your goal is, what your life is, what the best version of yourself is. And stop worrying about what everybody else is going to do. Because honestly, by trying to go on Instagram and determine whether or not somebody else is on steroids, all you're really doing is comparing yourself to another person. At the end of the day, none of that freaking matters. Nobody on Instagram is going to give you the answers through the way they look. Nobody on Instagram is going to give you the answers through their body. And what I suggest to all of you is that you should not idolize anybody on this earth for the way they look. You idolize them for what they accomplish, right? Now, a lot of you are probably saying, well, a body is an accomplishment. Well, no, it's not. Someone can achieve great things not even just with steroids, they can achieve great things with genetics, right? So it doesn't make any sense for you to follow everything someone says just because they have a nice body, right? It helps if they look good, they should be in shape, right? You don't want to take fitness advice from somebody who's vastly overweight and out of shape, but you do want to be very careful about who you're taking advice from when it comes to taking advice from them because they look a certain way. Right? Think about that. You do everything that some famous bodybuilder does, some famous fitness model does, and you can get nowhere. Or what you can do is run your own experiments. Get to know yourself. Figure out how you respond to different foods. Keep a journal for how you feel after eating certain foods. Keep a journal for each workout. Keep a journal for each month. Monitor your progress. Run experiments on yourself. Look at those data, and after months and months and maybe even years and years of effort, you'll have a full data book for things that you responded well to and things that you didn't, and that will be your guide to success. Notice I'm speaking in terms of years here because we're not talking in terms of months or weeks. You're not going to get there in months or weeks. There's going to be years of toil and effort, right? Years of toil and effort in getting to know yourself. And that's the exact reason why you don't want to look at anybody else. You don't want to care what anybody else does. You don't want to even friggin' think about whether or not they did steroids or not, because that's wasting energy. That's wasting energy and time you could spend on yourself in this massive quest that you have to get to your goal, right? Any time not spent on yourself and any time not spent on you getting to your goal and worrying about what other people do is taking you away from that goal, right? So my suggestion for you is to use Instagram in a different way. Use Instagram as your own success journal, right? You see me on Instagram, I've been taking pictures of my meals. I've been taking pictures of everything I eat, right? Listing it. And then I just developed a new hashtag. It's the Warrior Soul Experiment Summer 2015, right? And that's something I can go back to to analyze what I was eating during this summer, which is coming up. Experiments starting now. And analyze what I was eating, see exactly what I was eating, and it'll always be there. It's not some notebook that I'm going to lose or anything like that. Of course, everybody else sees it, but you guys can learn something out of it as well. I keep video journals of my squats and of my overhead presses to see how my movement patterns are improving, and whether or not different irregularities in my movement patterns are improving. And that's a smart way of using Instagram. I don't ever look at anybody else's feed because I particularly don't care, right? Even my friends, if they tag me on something, I might look at the picture. Sometimes I'll go check out my girlfriend's profile just because I like looking at my girlfriend. She's pretty freaking hot. But no, there is no reason for you to be looking at anybody else's profile. And when it comes to picking idols, pick them for what they accomplish. Don't look at their bodies. Look at what they've done with their lives. What kind of businesses do they run? How successful are they? Are they living out of their car but have a nice body, like I once was, right? Are they living up to expectations and core values that you would hold to yourself, right? Do they have families? Are they true to their families? Are they good fathers? Are they good husbands? Those are things to emulate. Look at those behaviors that led them to become what they are. Those behaviors, right? Not the actions, the behaviors. How much do they work? How often, how early are they up in the day? How long have they practiced their craft? How long did it take them to find success, right? And you don't really want to follow somebody who it took them 6 months to get to the perfect body, right? You don't really want to follow somebody who was born with money and who is just living a playboy lifestyle because they were born with it and they didn't have to work for anything. You want to find people like Arnold Schwarzenegger, right? He took steroids, but it's not Arnold's body or workout routine that you should follow. What you should follow is his story of how he worked to become a millionaire before he was ever Mr. Olympia, right? He worked as a bricklayer. You should follow his story as to how he went from bodybuilding into Hollywood, which honestly not many other people have done, though many people have tried. How he went from Hollywood into politics, you know, that's a story right there. But for you to follow every set, every rep, everything Arnold ever did, and then either discount it or, you know, maybe take it on because he did take steroids, that's foolish. Worry about yourself. Study great people, but study their behaviors, not what they look like or not what they do. And push yourself to be the best version of yourself. Stop wasting useless energy on just worrying about what everybody else looks like and whether or not you're going to get there. And you'll get to your destination much sooner than you think you will. This is Chris Albert, Warrior Soul Fitness.